are never going to own a home in British Columbia. If things keep going the way they have been going, that is going to be true for
thousands and thousands
of home buyers across the province until today. Housing in British Columbia is incredibly expensive, and so many first-time home buyers will never even have a shot at affording their own home. In fact, this is one of the many reasons why they are moving in droves to other provinces across the country. But the most recent announcement by the leader of the opposition party in British Columbia just shook things up in a major way. This announcement could change the trajectory for first-time home buyers in this province forever. If you want to learn more about exactly what I'm talking about, let's get into it. Hey, my name is Darren, a realtor with McDonald Realty and team leader with the German Group in Surrey. If you're new to this channel, it is everything to do with living in Surrey, White Rock, or anything going on with BC real estate. So naturally, if you want to keep up to date on everything happening in those areas and our market, consider subscribing and tapping the notification bell so you get alerted right away every time we bring forward more content helping you become better informed about your local real estate market. People like you are booking online meetups with us every single day, looking to make their move to Surrey or White Rock. And the good news is, well, we're here to help. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days, 90 days, or even 9 months from now, feel free to use the link to set up an online meetup with me and my team, and we'll be happy to help make sure that your move to either Surrey, White Rock, or any of the surrounding municipalities is the best that it could ever be. So jumping in here, affordability, well, I don't think I have to tell you that it's bad, like real bad. In fact, Vancouver is the most expensive real estate market in all of Canada, and Victoria is the third on the list. Surrey, well, Surrey's not on the list because Surrey's never on any of these lists for some reason. It's like they don't exist or something. But in fact, if it were on the list provided by Zoocasa about the most expensive real estate markets in Canada, it would likely fall in front of Victoria in the number 3 position. Why is Surrey never on these lists? It's not like it's small. So things are expensive, so much to the fact that to own a detached home in the city of Vancouver, a single person would have to be earning upwards of $328,000 per year just to own a home. That is a huge problem for people living in the province that don't currently own homes, and it's an even bigger problem for first-time home buyers who want to buy a place. So naturally, what does one do if you realize that you likely are never going to be able to afford a home in the Lower Mainland? You're going to do what so many first-time home buyers are doing and young people are doing, and they're getting the hell out of here. They are moving out in droves. In fact, record stretches of people have left the province of BC in the last 18 months, according to Statistics Canada. Almost 13,000 people have left our province due to affordability. I bet you can guess where most of them are ending up. I'll give you a moment to think about it here. Yeah, it's Alberta. In fact, the Alberta government even had a campaign months ago trying to encourage these people to come to Alberta because of the quality of life, and more so than anything, the cost of living is so much lower. Before I go any further, let me just slow this down and say this is not meant to be political. I never intend to support a political party one way or another on this YouTube channel, but I will always let you know my opinion of what that political party might be doing if I think it is good or I think it is silly. So don't take any of these comments as an endorsement for one party over the other, but let's talk about the idea that was just put forward by party leader Kevin Falcon of the BC United Party, because it's a good one that you're going to love, especially if you're somebody looking to buy a home, your first home in British Columbia. Kevin Falcon came out recently announcing that first-time home buyers would be exempt from paying the property transfer tax on the purchase of their first home as long as that home was under $1 million. This is huge news for anybody looking to buy a home if BC United comes into power in our upcoming election later this year. To give you an idea of how impactful that is, on the purchase price of $1 million, the property transfer tax comes out to $18,000. $18,000. What about a more modest purchase like $600,000? it's still a $10,000 bill. That is incredible. One of the many reasons why so many first-time buyers are moving to Alberta because they don't have this property transfer tax like BC and Ontario do. There is currently an existing exemption, a really outdated one that's been in place for many years, where if you are a qualifying first-time home buyer and you buy a property at $500,000 or less, you're exempt from paying the property transfer tax. If you're playing along at home and paying attention, you are probably thinking the same thing I am. What the hell can you buy for $500,000 in the Lower Mainland? If you're unsure and you're searching for the answer is very little, teeny tiny places. Now, you may be asking, how did we even get here with property transfer tax, and why is this even still a thing? Well, back in 1987, the BC government brought in the property transfer tax as a wealth tax to discourage speculation. You're probably familiar with the word speculation if you live in British Columbia. It was 1% of the first $200,000 of the home price and 2% of the remainder. At the time it was brought in, it only applied to roughly about 5% of the transactions that were occurring in British Columbia. Because at this time, about 95% of the homes sold across the province were selling for prices under $200,000. The remainder of the timeline goes like this. In 1994, the government introduced the First-Time Homebuyers program, allowing qualifying first-time buyers to claim a property transfer tax exemption. In 2006, the government brought in simplified eligibility requirements for first-time buyers. 2007, they raised the first-time buyer exemption price threshold to $375,000, up from $325,000. In 2008, they raised it again up to $425,000. And again in 2014, they raised the threshold to $475,000. In 2016, the government brought in the newly built home exemption, which eliminated or reduced the PTT on newly constructed homes priced up to $750,000. So today's current threshold of $500,000 to be exempt as a first-time buyer from this tax is completely ridiculous and 100% unfair, especially based on the reason why this tax was introduced in the first place. So this big announcement by Kevin Falcon, that could be incredibly impactful for first-time homebuyers. You may be asking yourself, what does the current government think of this proposal by Kevin Falcon? This is what the housing minister had to say about making it easier and more affordable for first-time homebuyers to buy homes. Encouraging people to get into the market and buy is always a good thing. But when you have limited housing, it does put pressure on the prices, and it could mean that this housing affordability crisis becomes an even bigger crisis. What I didn't hear in that housing strategy they brought was the idea of investing in affordable housing. So fair enough, the announcement might not have said anything about affordable housing, but a really good idea to make it more affordable and cut the red tape, i.e. taxes for first-time homebuyers, is not supported by our housing minister. Or at least it seems that way based on what I've read, and I certainly don't want to put words into either his mouth or his government's mouth. I'm sure there'll be more to come on that moving forward later on. So all the time we hear this talk in BC, especially in the Lower Mainland, about
build more homes. We gotta build more homes and increase affordability. Builders and developers are getting record profits.
Well, what about the record profits that the province of British Columbia has been enjoying from the property transfer tax over the last almost 30 years? Don't forget, it was introduced as a wealth tax to address speculation, not to tax the average person buying a home for their family. You also hear a lot about build more rental stock, build more rental stock. In fact, the housing minister specifically referred to that in his rebuttal to the big announcement. I would guess if you're someone that's watching this video and you're currently renting somewhere, you probably don't want to be a renter forever. You probably want to own your own house someday. I think that is the case for the majority of people. And if you are a renter and you are renting somewhere right now, you want to watch the video we just released on our channel, which I will post in the description below, because if you have the ability to buy, you should really watch this video and understand the impact of what you're doing right now by continuing to rent. So watch that video. It's good. Anyways, let's get back on topic. So I absolutely love this plan by Kevin Falcon. It opens the market up to first-time buyers, removes the red tape and the incredible tax burden that they have to pay when they buy their first home, which is only good for first-time buyers and the market in general. A first-time buyer is like the start of a domino in a long chain of sales, helping spur along the market. When that first-time home buyer doesn't have the ability to buy that first home, That means when homes are being sold and bought by people throughout the province, it's just existing homeowners that are able to participate in that game. We need more first-time homebuyers coming to the market, and we need to make it more affordable for them so they can build their equity and build their wealth over time. So ideally one day they own their home and there's no mortgage or rent payments due. Kevin Falcon also touched on a few other things that aren't for the scope of this video, but I will let you know if you want to dive a little bit deeper into it. He talked about eliminating the provincial sales tax on new residential homes, building affordable housing on empty public land, and establishing a rent-to-own program. If you ask me, all pretty cool ideas and something I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about, especially in the details, because we know the devil's in the details. So there you have it. This is the big announcement by the BC United Party, and as always, I want you to let me know what you think of this announcement. If you're a first-time home buyer, does this excite you? Is this enough to get you on board with everything that the BC United Party wants to do in the upcoming election later this year? If you're a homeowner, do you think this is a good idea? Or are you concerned about the lost revenue from eliminating the property transfer tax for first-time home buyers and wondering, well, where might that revenue come from in the future? I would have a question about that too, to be fair. Leave your comment below and let me know what's on your mind. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing to this channel if you found value in this video and you learned something today. By you subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up, it helps other people in the YouTube world find this channel so we can help provide value to anybody that's looking for better information on not only real estate in our province, but also relocating or moving to Surrey or White Rock, British Columbia. Hey, look, I want to thank you for watching today's video. I want to appreciate you for subscribing and commenting, and we'll definitely look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers.